As NCC OTA Gwalior celebrates its 60 years of glorious journey, we are here to know more about the history and evolution of this prestigious institution. This institution has given many lady officers to the country, officers who have now turned into leaders. Hello viewers, I, Dr. Kumud Khatri, trainee number 102 from the Rajasthan Directorate, welcome you to this podcast series where we'll be talking about the lady officers who have turned into leaders by the ambition of becoming leaders for the future cadets. And to enlighten us more about the history and development of this institution, we are honored to have with us Brigadier Vijayant Mahadik, Commandant, NCC Officers Training Academy, Gwalior. It's indeed an honor and privilege to welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, Kumar.
So before we walk down the lane and discuss and dwell about the history and development of this institution, I would like to ask you, you have been into the military service before dwelling down and before taking up the charge of NCC. So the first question that comes to my mind is, though we say that NCC is the second line of defense, but the life in the military service is stark contrast to what we have in NCC. So how do you see this transformation of your life completely dedicated to the military service and then a life dedicated to the service of the National Cadet Corps?
Well, you see, Kumud, being part of the NCC is also being part of the Army. So for us, it is an assignment which has been entrusted to us by the higher-ups. But yes, I sincerely believe that my 30 years or so in the Indian Army, which have taken me all across the country in varied terrains, difficult operations and challenges, has geared me well to look after the needs of the NCC. And before coming as Commandant of the NCC OTA at Gwalior, I had the privilege of being the Group Commander of NCC at Shillong, responsible for Meghalaya. So I believe that the ethos which we follow in the Army, like discipline, integrity, morals, motivation, courage, are what are we trying to teach the cadets also. So basically, I won't call it a transformation. I'll only say that the military service empowers you to guide and bring up the cadets as good citizens of the country.
Right, sir. So, sir, that takes me to the next question. What role does NCC OTA Gwalior plays in the history and development of the National Cadet Corps?
See, as you're aware, Kumud, that NCC today is a very thriving organization with approximately about 35 to 40% girl cadets, both in the senior wing and the junior wing. Now, to look after the training requirement, the development requirement of the girl cadets, the lady associate NCC officers come into play. Now, to ensure that the lady ANOs are well versed with their role, their training goals, and what are they supposed to do when they come across cadets is where we come into play. So NCC OTA Gwalior is responsible for the conduct of training of the lady associate NCC officers, that is pre-commission training, and as they progress in their career, keep calling them back to do the refresher courses.
Sir, this institution has given many officers, many leaders, we are proud of them. But before creating leaders also, this place had a history. So can you walk us through the history and evolution of this prestigious institution since its inception?
See, this place has got a very tremendous long historical background. As you see, it's a heritage building. So in 1889, it was constructed by the then Maharaja of Gwalior as a royal guest house for his royal visitors. So from 1889 till the commencement of the Second World War, this served as a royal guest house. And a lot of very important personalities have come to this place and stayed here. After the Second World War, this was initially the headquarters of the Southeast Asia Command, which, as you are aware, was under Admiral Mountbatten, who later on went on to become the last Viceroy and the first Governor General of India. So for some time, it was his headquarters here before they moved out. Thereafter, this building was handed over to the famous Chindits Brigade, which had a very important role to play in the Burmese front in Second World War. After independence, it went to the MP state government for some time. And that was a time when NCC was established, NCC was growing, the women wing had opened up, so lady cadets were joining in, and the requirement was felt of training the lady ANOs. So NCC started functioning from 49 onwards, and there was no such academy till 57. So the training used to take place at various places across the country. So like we had training in Rajarhat.
It was also that the training of both male and female trainees used to take place at OTA Kamti?
Yes. So OTS Kamti came up into existence in 1957. That's the time when NCC realized that they should have their own academy. But then because of expansion, even OTA Kamti ran short of space. So then the call was taken to establish NCC OTA Women Wing, and the place selected was Gwalior, and this building was then taken over by the Ministry of Defence and handed over to NCC OTA. And since then, we have been here.
So that takes me to the next question. What are the KRAs of NCC OTA Gwalior as a training academy?
See, broadly speaking, we can divide the KRAs into 3-4 parts, or 3-4 verticals, as people say. The first is to ensure that all the trainees who come here undergo the basic military training part of it. They are aware of it. So that incorporates your drill, because drill teaches you discipline.
Yes.
Drill teaches you obedience to orders. It also incorporates map reading. Very, very basic, that in case you are given a map, so you know where you are and where you are supposed to go. It also includes the practice and training on first aid, the basic part of it, as well as firing, and a large number of other activities which the ANOs are supposed to teach the cadets. More than that, now since we are evolving, we have also gone into a mode wherein we are getting eminent personalities to talk about topics which are relevant today to the ANOs also, as well as to the cadets also.
Right, sir. And when we are saying it is relevant to the cadets, what role does OTA play in the developing the mindset of the youth today, in affecting the youth of India today? How does OTA Gwalior is helping in the development of the right mindset among the cadets especially?
See, now directly we are not able to
So why,
influence them.
I'm sorry,
but
why this question? Because we have this youth and we all are discussing this, that we have a generation that is very difficult for us to control. And there comes the role of NCC, which is actually creating youth, a disciplined and united youth. And that is why this question becomes pertinent.
So now, like I said, we are not directly influencing the cadets. But for a second, if you take yourself off from the role of a trainee and go back to a role of a teacher, and you will agree with me that the most important influence in the life of a student from, say, kindergarten till class 12 and even college is played by a teacher. Because that is the person who's spending maximum time in his life cycle of the first 22, 23 years with the student, or the student is spending with the teacher. Now, when you take out the student part of it and you visualize a cadet is what? He is first a student. And thereafter, he is decided to don the uniform of NCC. And the lady ANOs are teachers first, and they have decided to join the NCC as associate NCC officers. Now, to ensure that the development of the youth, the way a country requires the youth force to be, has to transpire through the ANOs to the cadets. So we come in there when we build up the, I won't say that we teach you to become leaders. You are teachers already, so you are leaders. We only refine the skills of leadership, of motivation, of instilling a sense of responsibility in the cadets, of telling them that just because you don the uniform does not mean that you're a patriot. It is the way you behave in your country, your sense of responsibility. And when you take that pride that this is my place, my country, and then you work towards this, everybody is a patriot. So that's the role which we try to play.
And just to add to this, sir, actually indirectly, when we talk about Viksit Bharat, we are creating the productive demographic dividend that the nation needs today. And to that takes me to the next question. What are the notable activities and exercises conducted in the institution to make this dream into reality?
So, like, there are 5, 6 major activities which we make the trainees do.
Yes.
Now, the concept is that you teach the theory part first, but then just learning about the theory may not be sufficient. So, then you practice the same thing on ground. So, let's start with the basics. Every ANO is supposed to ensure that the institutional training in her college runs perfectly fine. So, there is a huge syllabus to cover. Then there is also the syllabus of the college which are required to be covered. Your cadets are not only cadets, they are also students of the college. So, they are supposed to participate in activities there. They are supposed to participate activities in here. So, something like exercise Anubhav is conducted to give an insight into a ANO as to how to balance between the conflicting requirements of the NCC and the college. Take a step ahead. Today, NCC is a major part of disaster management. Wherever there is a problem or a disaster, we will find the NCC cadets always part of that scheme. Now, that's a place where there is also some bit of threat to life. Then, once again, the ANOs are supposed to guide the cadets. They are supposed to select the cadets based on their caliber and capabilities. So, we have this exercise Rahat, where we try and bring in the experts of the subjects to give you an insight into disaster management and then make you do a little bit of that on the ground. We are also wanting the NCC cadets to be part of community development, social service. They should take the onus of being good citizens of the country. Now, activities like campaigns against drug abuse, substance abuse, tree plantation, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So, all that becomes part and parcel of their training. Now, how do you organize this in such a way that there is a satisfaction at the end of the day that they've done a good job is what we make you do in the social service and community development exercise which you do. Adventure activities are also an important part and facet of NCC training. So, we have this minor capsule on adventure activities, an exercise called Darshan, where we take you, and eventually all this culminates into the CATC or the combined annual training camps, which a cadet has to undergo. So, the culmination of your training is something which all of you must have done till now, is exercise Shakti, wherein over a span of 2 days we make you establish a camp, we take you through various roles of the camp, we make you do the budget planning. So, the concept is that when you go from here and you come across a situation, we have tried to give you a solution for it or a guideline for it. And based on that guideline, you can take your call and conduct the training the way it is supposed to be done.
And to take points from what you explained, sir, NCC is actually not only teaching us time management, it is not only making us leaders in different domains, but it is also making us aware about the various things that are going over and around the country in a very positive way. So now, because these series will be organized in which we will be talking to lady officers, we will be knowing how this institution has helped them champion the cause of women empowerment. But before we dwell down to their lives and know from them that how OTA helped them develop their capabilities, leadership qualities, and character and personality, I would like to know it from you, sir, how this institution is championing the cause of women empowerment through its initiatives and through the programs.
See, I can very proudly tell you that we are the only institute in the country which has been training lady officers. And we call them lady officers, but then you must also remember that people who are coming to get trained for us have firstly taken that call to join the NCC, which I am sure is a very onerous responsibility because you have your tasks cut out as professors. Now, once you come here, and then our aim is to ensure that these lady ANOs, when they go out into the world back again, to the same institute, wear a uniform. The moment you wear a uniform, you are on a different pedestal altogether. People then start looking up to you. So, if people have to start looking up to you, what do we have to tell you or teach you is little more of self-reliance, little more of decision-making capabilities, little more of adventure, a little more of risk-taking capacity, and we have to mold you in such a way is that your personality talks about little bit of military mindset, quick decisions, quick selection, organize events at short notice, be calm under pressure, or things like that. So I sincerely believe that since we have been training and we've had the privilege of training about 35,000 to 40,000 lady ANOs, we are empowering them into leading successful or molding successful cadets is how I'll say, or molding successful youth leaders.
Correct, sir. And that is why to all lady officers, with more power come more responsibility. However, we would like to learn more from you here, sir, but keeping the track of time, understanding the paucity of time, the last question that I would like to ask you is about the future. And this has been divided into two parts. One, as the commandant, what are your expectations from trainees to be officers? And secondly, what are your aspirations about the future development and growth of this academy?
Okay, I'll answer the second part first.
Ji.
The academy is on the verge of massive expansion and growth. So when we talk about the infrastructure, the Director General NCC has been kind enough to accept our proposal for expansion of vacancies in the college. So we have sent a proposal for enhancing the vacancies by about 80 more trainees, taking it to a total of about 200, and certain other facilities which we wanted will come up. Of course, it will take some time. It will be a roll-on plan which will fructify in the next about 4 or 5 years. Then today we are in the world, in the time of transformation and digitization.
Ji.
So it is my endeavor along with a team of officers to get training into a digitized mode. Of course, it will take some time, and I sincerely believe that 10 odd courses down the line, we will have a digital platform where you will get your training. And other than that, keep improving the whatever is existing with us.
Okay.
Now coming to the first part, I sincerely and firmly believe that all the ANOs, and I'll talk about the male and the lady and the male ANOs both, have a very important role because you are handling the youth and in the most impressionable age, starting from say 12, 14 years of age in the junior division and the junior wing till about 22 in the senior wing and senior division. So my only aspiration is that we empower you in such a way that when we turn back and look at, or you turn back and look at the people who've been under you and have trained and gone out, we get a sense of feeling and a pride that we have developed a very strong and firm foundation for the country. Being the largest youth organization touching approximately 20 lakhs
Ji.
or going up to 25 lakhs,
Ji.
if we have this foundation which is based on discipline, responsibility, love for the country, love for the community, I think we've achieved our aim. So that is what is my expectation from the trainees.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the expectations. Definitely, the trainees will work in this direction. Thank you for sparing your time. Thank you for telling us so vividly about the history, role, and growth of this institution. In the same sequence, we'll be talking to many lady officers in the upcoming podcast. But till then, stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed our first podcast. Jai Hind.